Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, which I watched none last night, maybe. And Jeff Lewis Live. Oh my goodness. I hope y'all are ready because I might be changing my account to Susan Powter Obsessed. Like, seriously. Oh my gosh, we have got to talk about this 90s powerhouse that is about to come back. I cannot wait for her documentary. First of all, I hope y'all are doing fantastic. Thank you for all the reminders to hit the like button. Y'all are so sweet. Just a reminder, before you come on the YouTube, you can hit the like button, the thumbs up button. And please, over on TikTok, hit the thumbs up or just tap the screen, give me some likes. And of course, on YouTube or Instagram, you can hit I think there's a heart button at the bottom that you can hit. Anyways, it's all helps and shows your gratitude. And I would really, 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 really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, we finally got some heat today. I went on a walk with my friend about an hour and a half, and it was like so wet and damp and just chilly outside. And by the end of it, it was like sunny and warm. I was loving it. Of course, I had a jacket on because it was outside, but I am so ready for the summer. I really am so ready for the summer. Okay, I didn't watch any shows last night, but I have to admit, yes, Lisa in Kentucky, she's getting to me. She's easy. She convinces me of shit all the time. But after hearing Ryan talk about the Baldwins at the very end of the second hour of Jeff Lewis Live, I think I might give it a shot. I don't know. Yes, Jordan. Hey, man, we all make mistakes. I'm the first to admit it. Jordy says, wait, Sarah, yesterday you were saying, why is Susan on and why is she? And I don't think he'll have her back. Now you're a big fan? Abso-freaking-lutely. We all make mistakes. I was loving her. Not the first segment, but after the first commercial break, I was like, there she is. Like she had calmed down a little bit. I think her nerves, all of her stories got a little more aligned. I felt like the first segment, she kept saying, I don't know, to every question that Jeff would ask. Were you pregnant when you got married? I don't know. Maybe I got married twice. Maybe I got married 3 times. I don't know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like if you don't know the answers to your questions, but oh my God, the second section or after the first commercial break, I am in love. Okay, Bonnie says, I'll watch the Baldwins if you do, Sarah. The hard part is now that I've added a third night of working out, which is body combat, it is like a fight workout. It's more cardio than body pump. It's harder for me to squeeze in all my shows that I love to watch. But anyways, I will do it for sure. I will do it for sure. Okay. Louise says, I liked the Baldwins. I was not a big fan before I watched their show, but I enjoyed it. Now, you don't respect them, right? It's just the chaos that you're watching. Or do you actually think they're more normal now? I don't know. I just heard a little clip of it. Something about, or was it Ryan talking on Jeff Lewis Live about, how her fake accent and Hilaria and like, I guess it was like, what's it called? What's the lady where you take on, like you change your gender or you change your nationality, I guess she was taking that on, right? I guess which other people have done. I guess she was saying that she was from Spain or whatever. And I don't know what her excuse was, but I guess she's back to talking in her normal accent now. So anyways, I want to watch Balin Out Loud last night too. I did see that she got a season 2 already. So that means the ratings are through the roof, which I'm so here for. Okay, Louise says it was informative about their life. What's normal? Alec did call her out on the accent. Oh, I love that. That's true. That's true. What's normal? You're right. Thank you for putting that into perspective, because what is normal? Everyone's evening looks different. Everyone's mornings look different. Everyone's life looks different. So, yeah. Okay, Lisa says, once you watch the new Baldwin show, you might change your mind. It's very informative and interesting, and I'm loving every minute of it. It's only been 1 episode, though, right? Didn't it start just Sunday after the SAG Awards? So, okay, I'll try to get into it. because I know that Southern hospitality is winding down, so I will try to do that. Thank you, Christina. Y'all make sure to hit the thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Like I said, I didn't watch any TV last night, so I don't really have anything to recap. Jeff Lewis Live. Susan Powter. Okay, y'all know I'm almost 52 years old. If you remember the 90s, okay, so in 93 is when Stop the Insanity, her book came out. It was fascinating to hear her story, like her growing up in like upper middle class, very educated family. She said her mom was very classy and together and just never really liked Susan. So she had a really good relationship with her dad, but not so much with her mom. I have so many questions and don't think I haven't reached out to her to come on my podcast, because I have already. So if anyone wants to DM Susan Powter or send her an email saying you need to come on Sarah from Texas, I would love that, because I have so many questions. I want to know, did her dad leave her any money when he passed away? And if so, where did that money go? What happened after, and then M died? So after M died, her dog, what happened? Did she get on drugs? Like, where's the money? Like, what happened? Why aren't her 3 kids she not able to live with one of her kids, although I don't think she ever would. I want to know her thoughts on the GLP-1 medication of it all. Like, I have so many questions for her. Anyways, I was obsessed. So the first segment opens up and she's just all between her and Carney Wilson's like love affair of her, like asking questions. Susan Powter would say, I don't know a lot. She was calling Jeff Lewis, you know. She felt like she had so many stories to tell. I just think she needed to calm down, you know, like take a deep breath, realize, look, I'm back on the radio. I can do this. I've got so many stories to tell. Maybe they're all in her book, which of course I've already ordered from Amazon. I've got it added to my list of Amazon favorites in my link. So it's $12.99. It is coming to me Thursday. I ordered a copy for my daughter in Texas, my other daughter in Texas, and my other daughter away at college in Georgia. So all 3 of my college girls are going to read the book at the same time with me, and we're going to chat about it. If she is a third as inspiring and motivational and just a take charge girl power as she talked about on Jeff Lewis Live today, that's all I need. That book is going to be so good. I cannot wait to read it. I definitely want to hear about her fucking manager. Like, I want names. I want to know why she was paying 50% and then had all these other people. And the thing about it, okay, we'll get into it, but she finally talks about how she got taken advantage of. She doesn't even care about the money. The only time she got emotional, remember, towards the end of the show, and she says, I lost my children's money. In other words, I worked so hard. I have 3 adult children and I lost their money. So that is the only thing that she really cared about. You can tell she has lived in poverty. She's lived in dangerous areas. She is a Uber Eats driver right now. She had $12 in the bank last week. She doesn't, it didn't sound like, call her kids and ask for money. She doesn't call the book person, and she self published that book herself, which is good because hopefully that means she gets almost every single dime from that book. I don't really know. Yeah. I mean, and she doesn't even feel bad for herself. Like, the whole thing I always talk about, personal responsibility, is what she encompasses. Like, literally. Annie says, bless her heart for not giving up. I mean, she's had so much adversity. Some of it brought on her own by running away at 14, dropping out of school, you know, but she didn't really go into all that. We'll figure. I don't know. That's a good question. Sarah says, how has Jeff connected with her recently? I have to assume she is one. I have to assume this interview with Jeff Lewis is one of many interviews. I feel like once this documentary comes out that Jamie Lee Curtis is behind, I do not know when it's going to come out, what network it's on. I know they've been filming for the last year. I love a documentary. I cannot wait to watch it. Okay. Debbie says she thinks she gets a little over $6 for each book sold. So she's almost getting half of the money, which is great. Everyone go check out my Instagram story. I did put up a link, or you can go to Amazon yourself. It doesn't take away any money from her, but I do get a tiny, tiny, tiny commission if you order products directly from my Amazon storefront. So I did add the book to the Amazon storefront. Everything on someone's Amazon storefront is the same exact price retail. The seller doesn't get any less money. They just give me a tiny commission for that. So I would appreciate if you order from my link on my Instagram story. But it is called And Then M Died. So EM, she called her MJ. So I'm not really sure if she had a full name, what have you, but apparently the dog died suddenly. And it sounds like that's whenever her life kind of went, I would say to hell in a handbasket, but not really. She is the most grateful, yet proud, confident, motivating woman I have heard in a while. And of all days, I promise you, if you looked at my stories this morning, I'm getting my stuff together for taxes, and, some big things remind me of what a horrible beginning to 2024 that I had, and everything that I've gone through since then. So, not going to rehash all that, but let's just say the timing of her being on was really good for me. Really good for me. I just needed to see a woman that's kind of been shit on and yet doesn't fall down and crumble and doesn't say, "Oh, woe is me." No, get the hell back up, do you, and it'll all play out. Okay. So like I said, in 1993, she had been married. Her prince left her. She had 2 little boys. She was a housewife. She had gained 130 pounds. She started reading and taught herself how to eat whole foods. This is in the early 90s. This is exactly what we talk about every day now in 2025, okay? And Susan Powter is talking about this in 1993 or before that. So she's eating whole foods. She's talking about training your body, moving your body. But she's also real with people. She's like, hey, I sit at an office all day and I eat, bonbons, and I order in Chick-fil-A. How can I lose weight? And she's like, you're not. It's true. You have to be honest with people. You're not. So I love that she was. But even when her prince left her, she went and became aerobics instructor. Maybe she didn't have all the accreditation that she needed, but she had the personality, she had the information, she had the desire. And I tell you, I do not know what fitness instructors make per hour, but it is not enough. The way they are working out, motivating you, if you have a good fitness instructor, which I have a lot of them. I love Body Pump, I love Body Combat, I love my gym, love my instructors. They see when someone is struggling during a class, and they may not say it to them directly, but they just start saying things to pump everybody up. And that is what fitness instructors do. And I can't believe she was ever fired for it. I have a feeling, because in the mid 90s, it was still that oh, you should be just happy you have a job. Your husband goes to work. You've got 2.5 kids. You've got a dog. Don't ask for much more, lady. And she was like, no, you need everything in your life. You need everything that you work hard for, and you deserve all that. You deserve a healthy body. You deserve good foods, pesticide free, all that stuff. So I have a feeling she was incorporating all of that information into her fitness classes, and they just weren't into it, right? So she definitely talked a lot. She didn't say anything. Anyone that loses I don't know how tall she is. Somebody look up how tall Susan Powter is. Powter. She lost 130 pounds. Thank you, Christopher, reminding people to hit the like button. I appreciate it. And I don't know if she ever had skin removal. I don't know if that was a thing back then. I have no idea. Yeah, a lot of the I've been going to aerobic. I've been doing aerobic since I was 15, y'all. And I'm almost 52. So I love it. Yes, Allison said she will be an inspiration to many people. She doesn't want a handout. She's literally starting from the bottom again. And so happy to do it. I feel like she's literally gonna go and wake up at 4 in the morning and deliver breakfast on Uber Eats tomorrow. Like, after coming off of Jeff Lewis Live, like, she's gonna I feel like she has, like, 2,000 followers on Instagram now. I hope she has 400,000 by the end of the day. Like, I hope every Jeff Lewis has almost 9 or over 900,000, almost 1,000,000 Instagram followers. I hope all of them go and follow her. I hope she gets deals again. I hope this book takes off. I hope the documentary is amazing. And I hope she lets herself I hope she lets herself just be proud of herself. I feel like she just thinks she's doing like the basics in life and like she's just doing what she needs to do. Like, this all just comes naturally to her to like lift other women up and be so proud of women and help other women. Like, she even talked about she was teaching at like this fancy gym in Dallas, Texas, right? In the 90s. She's like, all these people come in, they probably have work done, they've got a personal trainer on the side, all this stuff. She goes, I liked the woman that was coming in that couldn't work out, that was like out of shape, just starting. Like, those are the people that I loved. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I am definitely Susan obsessed for sure. Okay, so I do not know how much money she had. But she says at one point, the last legal bill she saw was $6.5 million. Now, y'all, I'm assuming this is in the mid to late 90s. I mean, I think she kind of was only big for like 5 years. But if you were on TV and you saw infomercials, I mean, she's beautiful, y'all. Her skin is amazing. She's just attractive. Her body is insane. She had really spiky, super blonde hair. I guess she came out as a lesbian in 2004, they said, but she doesn't really seem to talk about that. She just seems to talk about like loving people, or, she just keeps a lot of things private, obviously. She had a baby on her own at like 40. I mean, nobody was doing that. Nobody. Very rare, right? Very rare for somebody to have the balls to do that. But this manager had a 50-50 deal with her, but that's not what she got upset about. She was never upset about the money, she keeps saying. It's the betrayal. And boy, do I relate to betrayal. I mean, 2024 has been a year of betrayal, and it is so hurtful. And it wasn't ever about like the followers or the money, or it was just the betrayal, like just the gut punch of it all, right? So I cannot wait to read her book. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love also Annie. Did you catch? So Annie said she's a beautiful lady inside and out. Has anyone been following her all this time? Has anyone heard anything about Susan Powter in the last 30 years? Let's see. Let me do the math. 2003, 2013, 2023. Yeah. I mean, she's pretty much been out of the limelight for like 30 years. It's crazy. But I love how she just went and she was like working. What was the job she had? She was selling not real estate. I feel like she was selling timeshares. Is that what she said? Was she selling timeshares and nobody was recognizing her? Which is crazy. Oh, Meg says you didn't need certifications in the 90s, but you need lots of certifications to teach classes and train customers. Lots of liability. Yeah, I do the Les Mills classes, which is like body pump, body combat. I'm sure there's other names. And they're training their people all the time because the instructors will put up a camera in the back of my class and they have to always do like updates to make sure they know the latest classes and that they're teaching right. And they kind of get graded on that or something like that. So it's very serious now to be a fitness instructor. I mean, I just love it. She gets started with like her 2 kids, like sitting on the front by the trees, and she would just like walk back and forth. Wow. Oh, Annie said she's been an inspiration to me for the past 20 years. That's nice to know. Yeah, it was timeshares. Okay. She was so popular. And I have to admit, in 93, I was in college. I mean, I was the last person that was probably her target audience. Okay, look up a picture of her. Mama Judy says, I've never heard of her. She's only a few years younger than you. So y'all were in the same. If you see a picture of her, if you see one of her, like stop the insanity, she was very out there and very big personality. Oh, I wish you could listen to. Okay, her book release, Jen Helen says her book release was October 2024. Um, oh, that's when she did this book. So it's not a brand new book. Okay. See, I don't remember any hoopla over it, which a lot of people, when they have a book release, first of all, it's on a Tuesday. So I kind of thought today was her book release because a lot of book releases come out on a Tuesday. Yes, Tracy says, oh, Tracy, so you're younger than me. She says, I was in high school. My mom loved her and Suzanne Summers. Oh, if y'all didn't have the little Suzanne Thumber, the thigh cruncher or whatever it was called, I mean, Suzanne Summers was amazing also. But Susan Powter's personality is just amazing. And don't just listen to the first segment. Don't listen to the first segment at all if you can. Just skip right through. I mean, no, don't skip through it. There's a lot to hear, but a lot of the answers at the beginning were like, I don't know. I just think she was nervous. I think she and Carney kind of talked over each other a lot. Jeff was just probably sitting there like, ah, yeah. Debbie, Sarah has shown. Oh, y'all are sweet. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I did think Carney was good with her. And pumping her up. I just don't feel like I don't feel like Susan needed to be pumped up. You know what I mean? Like she was basically, I think Carney was trying to get real deep with her. And I feel like, I don't know if Susan Powter's ever had, therapy a day in her life. It almost didn't sound like she needed it. It almost sounded like she gets through her obstacles. She figures things out. She realizes when I make a mistake, when I need to lean on someone. I think she really just leans on herself, right? And it doesn't like she didn't have a bad mom or dad. I mean, I think says she has a great, I mean, she's 67. Her dad could still be alive. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe her dad hasn't passed away. That's one of my questions is, did he leave her any money? It sounds like they really had some money. You know what I mean? We are going to have time today, especially more than ever, because I didn't watch a reality TV show last night. If you want to come on with a question or a comment, scroll up to the very top or copy and paste the StreamYard.com, that HTTPS website, and click it. And then that will bring you on to ask a question. Yeah, she's 67. Looks fantastic. Now, she doesn't look like 1993 because it's not. I mean, it's over 30 years ago, but it also looks like she is like eating clean, moving her body as much as she can. I mean, Jeff said that she eats on $20 a day, like better than most people on $20 a day. But I loved, I tell you, I'm obsessed with her. I loved when she talked about having two really good friends. And she said, I don't really know, she dropped out of school very young, sounded like 13, 14, 15 as she just kind of quit going to school. And then I guess officially dropped out. So she's like, I have never written a paper. I've never, done academics, all that stuff. But she definitely says she was, surrounded by family, surrounded by parents that had, high academics and such. But the fact that she says, I don't know how to read forms and fill out forms and do all this stuff, whatever it takes. Like, I'm not 65 yet, so I don't know what Social Security is. She gets $1,500 a month. And she said she was so thankful for the two really good friends that helped her fill out the Social Security, because she says she could not live without that $1,500 a month that comes on the 3rd of every month. I mean, she says $12 in her bank as of last week. $12. She had to go out and drive Uber Eats more over the weekend. So she had enough money to, I wonder, it didn't even sound like, I don't know how she got here. If she self-published the book that means there's no like big pocket of money behind her. There's no like, oh, let me call Simon and Schuster and get an advance. There's not them sending you out. There's not her book people are not sending her out. Her publisher aren't sending her out and hooking her up with the Today Show, hooking her up with, a Dateline interview, all these things, all these radio things. She should be doing what's called, what do they call it? Where you just sit in like interview after interview happens and you promote your book, right? Whatever that's called, she should be doing. Ugh, I didn't charge my thing enough. Sorry. Okay. We'll sit in the dark again. Anyways, I could see my phone. You see my phone right there? It's above and it's getting on my last nerve. Now it won't be. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to make that go down. She should do a book tour, but you got to have money to do that. You got to have a hotel. You got to have food on the road. You got to have a car. You got to have a driver. You got to have the clothes. You got to have a different outfit for everything. You got to have hair and makeup. Like, I don't know how she got on Jeff Lewis Live. That'd be interesting to know. Tracy says, how did she get on Jeff Lewis Live? It definitely sounded like she paid for her own way to get there. I don't know what hotel she had. I did look at her Instagram. Her Instagram is Susan Powter, Powter. She only has like she lost $50 million. Well, I mean, yeah, if you have a $6.5 million legal bill, you probably had that kind of money. Can you imagine? But did y'all hear her tear up? The only time she teared up wasn't about the money. She teared up because she lost her 3 adult children's inheritance. She's like, I lost the money for my kids, the money that I'd worked so hard. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cheryl says a book tour has to be underwritten. Yeah, you've got to have the people and the funding behind it. Plus, I mean, I bought 4 books, but $6 times 4 is $24. That's not going to give her a ton of money, right? I do think so, but she doesn't live in LA, y'all. So, I don't know why. Did it sound like she still lives in Seattle? I couldn't figure out where she lives now. Did anyone pay attention to that? Jordy says, do you think Jeff will have her on as a regular now so she can get some money? I mean, he wanted. Sorry, hit the button. I'm not even hitting the button. I promise you. Something is moving on my computer and I swear it makes the mute button get hit. It's so fucking annoying. We don't know. They didn't really go into that, which is why y'all need to message her or email her and let her know she's to come on Sarah from Texas so I can ask her all those questions. Sarah says, why did she lose the money? Apparently everything went downhill after she lost her dog suddenly. So I don't know what happened, but definitely she has to whatever. Oh, I love that. Mama Judy says here in California, a lady called, but who? Because a lady called and walked me through signing up for Medicare and Social Security. Super easy. Why do people have to sign up for something that is automatically supposed to come to them at 65, right? Is it 65 now or 67? I feel like it's 65. I feel like I'm thinking about, what is it where if you wait longer, is that your 401k? If you wait longer, you get more of it? I'm so confused. I'm not there yet. Heather says she can replace MJ. I mean, Jeff kind of gave a jab to MJ at the beginning saying that she's out driving Uber Eats, right? Did y'all hear that? I think it was a lot of people. I think the manager took the money, but she said she had 14 attorneys at one point. I mean, I think it was a lot of people. Sorry. Mary McFadden said, I thought it was her manager who took the money. Sarah said, sounds like she'd be regular. She'd be better than Sarah Colonna as a regular. Jamie Stinky Dick Waiver. Wait, what? What? Jamie Kennedy? Oh, goodness. Okay. If anyone's on YouTube, TikTok or Instagram that wants to come on with a question or comment, you do have to get on my YouTube channel at Sarah from Texas podcast. And the link is right there in the banner. Oh, okay. Oh, it is Social Security. Okay. So Cecily says you get different amounts of different ages. The earliest is 62. So is 65, if you wait till 65, do you get 100% of your money? Do you get any more of your money if you wait? But then if you pass away, do your beneficiaries get that money? Or does it just go away? Like, I don't really understand how. I know how money like actual money in the bank or investments work or a house, but I don't know how Social Security works. I don't know what happens once you pass away. You know what I mean? Bonnie says, why do people hate Sarah so much? Sarah Colonna or Sarah me? I don't know what you mean. Because people have no lives. They have nothing better to do than hate on people. Okay, Debbie says it's 65, but you don't have to take it when you're 65. I qualify now, but I'm not taking it until I'm 70. It's a good idea to meet with a professional in the field to know exactly how to set it all up. But do you get more money at 70? Is that the benefit? Like, if not, I'm sure you're not just letting the government hang on to your money, right? Okay, Christina says, y'all are teaching me all about this stuff. Christina says the spouse will get half of the Social Security if the one who passed was receiving it. Okay. I feel like my mom got my dad's Social Security, but my dad was only 54 when he passed away. So I don't think did she get his Social Security? He was so young. Like, he retired at 51. So he had his own money. I don't know. Okay. Oh, Krista says Social Security dies when you do. The funeral home stops the payments. Sarah says, I like Sarah. Just people find her boring if she's on a lot, I think. Yeah, that's my only thing, is I don't feel like she adds new stories to anything. You know what I mean? Lisa says, who wants to wait till you're 67 so you'll get more money from Social Security? Hell, I'd probably be dead by then. No, you won't. I took mine early at 62. I'm now 64. I'm not getting very much money, but yeah. And I didn't really, I was a stay-at-home mom for most of my marriage. So I don't even know what I have. And then I was a teacher for 5 years. So that's a whole different thing, at least in Texas. It's called the, not TEA. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I don't even know what it's called. It's something where you can get insurance and money from, but I didn't work long enough to qualify for that. My mom worked, but quit in she kind of worked some, but she kind of quit in her 40s as an adult. Once I went to college. Anyways, yes, Cecily says everyone will have to make their decision on the best time to take your money. Okay, so like I said, she's an Uber Eats driver now for the past 9 years. She had $12 in her bank account before she left for Jeff Lewis, but she's like, look, I don't know if she's a Jeff Lewis fan or if she just knew this is a huge opportunity and he is giving it to me. Like, I loved that. Definitely not a victim. But she loves Joan Rivers just like I do. And she said, I wake up every morning and say, what would Joan Rivers do? And Joan Rivers would show up. Like, Joan Rivers, to me, was probably more about the money than Susan Powter, but it was probably more about the money so she could leave the legacy to her, daughter, Melissa. So as soon as the second segment started, I was like, okay. It was like a light bulb went off. But I tell you, do not judge it by the first segment because it was pretty lame and, a lot of over talking and a lot of Susan Powter saying, I don't know. And I'm like, oh my God, do you not remember your life? Like, what is going on? But I promise you, work through it and you will hear. And like Ryan Bailey said in the second hour, he complimented Jeff because he said, look, I love how y'all just let her talk. You just let Susan tell her stories. She had so many of them. Y'all didn't really interrupt her. Y'all didn't really ask questions. Y'all just did it. It was so lovely. Yes. Kay Kitty said Joan Rivers was one of the hardest workers out there. I mean, I remember when Joan Rivers got her talk show for us in Houston. It was called Channel 26, our Fox affiliate. I remember when she got that talk show. I was like, wow, girls can do this. Like, wait, what? I mean, really, it was really awesome. I mean, don't forget, I have a radio television degree. I've been into radio and TV my whole life. I mean, I've always wanted to have, a talk show or interview people. I mean, I've always been interested in other people. So the fact that she had a talk show as a female was amazing. Oh, she does. Oh, she lives in Vegas. You're right. I kept thinking she lives in Seattle. Michelle said since she lives in Vegas, maybe they invite her to come, not to be a chump there, but to hang out, etc. Oh, I would not be opposed. Okay. Y'all are going to be upset by this. I would not be opposed to her getting the invite next over Jamie Kennedy. We know Jamie Kennedy is up next, and then Sarah Colonna. I would not be opposed to her getting the 10 grand because I feel like she would work her ass off at ChumpCon. And I feel like she's going to have so many fans after this. Yes. Jen Helen said, Joan Rivers got fired from the E channel, was on TV Guide, and then was rehired by E. Yeah, I totally watched her E show with her daughter. I love it. Oh, y'all love Joan Rivers too. I love that. Joan is an icon. Mariah Joy says, did you like when Lunel was on the show? I did. I don't love that Lunel, totally different personality about her wealth, right? But I don't think she's had her wealth taken away from her. Like, I think she's deep in the wealth right now and she's thriving. Susan Powter has a very different thoughts on wealth. To me, Lunel is very like, oh, I've got Chanel on, this shirt, this jewelry, my diamonds. I mean, it was a bit much. I definitely resonated with Susan Powter's stories for sure. Wait, what? Cheryl says, I think someone should back out to give her room, but it's too late to plan a class with Susan. A class? Oh yeah, she could do a fitness class. She could talk to people about eating whole foods. I mean, yeah, she could definitely. I think she'd be great. But is she a ChumpCon material? I mean, maybe not. Unless her fandom just really, like the Chumps the Chump listeners also just really rally her around her. Okay, the second hour was Ryan Bailey and Sarah Colonna. They do talk about the ChumpCon invites. They talk about Ryan Bailey just getting invited, how excited he is. Jeff did make a comment about MJ, like, driving Uber Eats soon, which I don't know that she would ever drive Uber Eats. The thing about Susan Powter also, she was never like, oh, don't you remember me? I used to be. She didn't even want people to recognize her. She just wakes up at 4 a.m. to work. And she says she does breakfast mostly because she likes to see the start of everyone's day. And I think that's her biggest whatever. She doesn't even make like $80 a day is a goal for her. Think about that, y'all. Like, I guess at 67, I don't know why she's not teaching classes or doing, I think if she just got the right person to show her, I think she could be doing all the stuff that she did before. She could be doing a TED Talk, whatever that is. She could have a podcast. I mean, oh my God. I mean, I feel like I could help her. Like, I could give her some tips, like, for free. Yeah. Bonnie says, I predict that Susan is having a comeback and she'll start doing fitness for women over 50. I would love that. Like, I don't know if it almost was confusing to me when she broke her foot into 4 or 5 places or whatever. And they said, your dance career is over. She had a hugely successful stripper, career and was very proud of that and loved it. But then she was able to go and teach classes. So I'm like, well, wouldn't your foot still, like, why could you teach aerobics, but you couldn't do dance? Like, it seems to me like dance would be much more rhythmic. And if your foot was hurting, you could just spread your legs on the pole, or, I mean, you could do, I don't know. I thought that was weird. Oh, TED Talks are dead? What was TED Talks? I don't even know exactly what it was. Like, it just kind of, she definitely needs a trustworthy manager. Susan could, yeah, for sure. Kay Kitty says, Susan could totally do a podcast. This is crazy. Where has she been hiding? She ain't hiding. She's just working her ass off every day. She's not asking for someone to whatever. Meg says, Jeff can be so generous to Susan and so catty to MJ and other chumps. Yeah, Jeff definitely has a, yeah, Jen Helen says she probably doesn't trust anyone to manage her because her manager screwed her over. So do it herself. Like, be 100%, be your own person until she gets big enough to where she is sent out working all the dang time. She needs to be the one at this point in her career to take the calls, to manage the deal, but in some ways, if a manager is doing you at 15 to 20%, which is, I think, more of the going rate, they are going to get you that money. They are going to be professional. They're going to know what your going rate is. They're not going to get you, you're not going to get screwed out of a deal because you're going to go to, say, a grand opening of a gym and Susan Powter is going to be, they're not going to say, oh, we'll pay you $1,000. They're going to be like, no. Her rate is $10,000. Well, that's going to more than cover the 10 to 15% that she would need to pay her manager, right? But she just needs to get all that. Yeah. Sarah says someone needs to send her a link to this video. Yeah. Yes. Go to Susan Powter. She's not the Susan P official. Go to Susan, SUSANPOWTER on Instagram. Her email is under her link tree. So somebody's helped her with a link tree. I don't know if her boys, I know she said 2 of her kids put themselves through law school. I don't know. They just sound amazing. Amazing. So it's Las Vegas she lives in. I would love that. Oh, that's sweet. Carrie says, you with your wonderful spirit will be able to have a positive influence on her life. She doesn't need me. I think I could tell her, and maybe she doesn't want to. Do you even think she knows about a podcast or no? I just think she's just had her head down and working so hard as long as she's had to, and she just doesn't look up. And I think whoever was behind her all dropped her. They took her money and then dropped her, and her husband's suing her. And when all that, drained out, they just dropped her like a hot potato. Relatable. Yeah. Joan, I don't remember. Oh, the big tall guy. Maybu says Joan Rivers and King Charles were such good friends. He confided. I think you're still typing. I'm not sure. Oh, she has I saw something about a podcast. I thought that was just a link to a podcast that she does, that she had been on. MRL says it shows in her link tree that she has a podcast on YouTube. Okay, we all need to, I wonder why they didn't promote that. Because that's, obviously the book, but you can promote a book and a podcast. You know what I mean? For sure. Yes, I think so too. Heather says Susan is locked in survival mode. But at some point, it's like, what do don't just give someone fish, show them how to fish, teach them how to fish so they can get all that fish themselves. Girl, she is going to be a quick learner. All she needs to be told is, look, you can be doing grand openings. You can be doing podcasts to promote your book. You can be doing your own podcast. You could have a YouTube channel. You could be going live. I even said, I judged her yesterday because I'm like, oh my gosh, why does she only have 22,000 something followers on Instagram? Like, where has she been? Well, she answered all that for us today, right now, right? So, yes, Lisa says we have the best detectives in this group. Y'all are fascinating. Anyways, okay, so continuing on with the second hour. Somebody sent Ryan. Why do people do this? And I wondered if it was in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, because there was definitely some chatter about why different chumps are hired over other chumps. But somebody sent Ryan a Facebook group thread that said Ryan over Jamie Kennedy. And he said there was like 40 different comments about why Jeff Lewis shouldn't have hired him before over Jamie Kennedy. And even you heard Shane say in the background, yeah, don't send me negative stuff that's about myself. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Tea with Tambo says, I'm thinking of doing a podcast. Well, you need to do Sarah Fraser's podcast course. How to get started. Yes, I think it does. Cheryl says it takes a manager to get you those gigs, but not in the beginning. You can always ask. I asked her to be on my podcast. I'm sure she'll say no because I don't have a manager. If I had a big manager behind me, I'm sure they would have some clout and be like, all this stuff, but I don't. So anyways, yeah, super negative and hurtful. As much as, Ryan is his own hardworking podcaster, 6 days a week, that's hurtful. Whoever sent that to him is just being a dickhead, because they shouldn't have sent that. Like, he shouldn't have to read rude crap from a Facebook group. Don't forget that Jeff will be in Dallas this weekend. He'll be seeing his man Ty. Maybe he'll see his apartment for the first time ever. Like, why does Jeff have no interest in the guys it took forever for him to see Stu's apartment. Remember when Stu made him like a steak and, was cleaning up his apartment and everything for him, fluffing up the pillows and everything. And I think Jeff only went over there once or twice in the couple of years that they dated. I don't know. But Jeff's like, "Oh, why would I want to see his apartment?" And they're like, "Just to see like what he has, like what pictures he has. Is his bedding up to par? Like, what do you like?" I don't think it was my Facebook group, but I don't know. I can't see everything that everybody posts, but I don't know. Um, we need Jenny Poulos to be your manager. Fun fact, Cecily says you need Jenny Poulos to be your manager. I reached out to her. She never got back to me. But when I was starting a podcast, when I still had that other co-host, I handled everything in regards to our podcast. So paid for everything, handled everything, whatever. But I did reach out to Jenny Poulos to see if she would, if I could pay her to write an intro, and she never got back to me. Anyways, thought it'd been fun. Because she wrote Watch What Happens Live. She totally writes songs and kid stuff. Okay, like I said, the Baldwins, Ryan is convincing me to maybe watch the Baldwins. I know tonight is tonight Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Yes. And then Thursday is Southern Hospitality, I think episode 9. I'm not sure. I'm gonna make time for the Baldwins. It might be this weekend, but I don't know. Then we've got spring break coming up, y'all. I've got one spring break, then another spring break, and then another spring break. So I've got 3 of my different kids' spring break. One of them that's getting her master's. I don't even know what her spring break is because it doesn't matter. She stays at her apartment. And she has a paid internship right now. So she's not coming home unless she just does a weekend to come home, maybe. I don't know. Oh, Southern Hospitality. It's on Thursday nights. I definitely know that. Oh, Crystal and Bose are in the Clubhouse Live tonight on Watch What Happens Live. Okay, I'm not opposed to that. Allison, anyone want to come on live? Hit the button. See the just copy and paste that into a web browser and click on it, and it'll bring you up at the bottom. If you have a question or comment. Allison Pierce says, I like Ryan, but sometimes I feel like he gets mad or offended at things that are said about him, like today with the polygraph test game. Well, I mean, the first question out the gate was that he won't propose to Rebecca in the year 2025. And he was like, wait a minute, like she listens to this show like every time I'm on. And I've met her. She really is so nice. The first time I met her, they were like, oh my God, we snuggle up at night and watch her TikToks. They probably don't anymore, but at least that's what they said. They were very sweet. Wait, what? Cecily said, I'd like her phone calls when she acted like Jeff's hitman. I'd like her phone calls. I have no idea what that is. Oh, I do always forget. Deborah says, don't forget to watch the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show on Peacock on Wednesdays. Is it a certain time it comes up? I always forget. I don't follow a lot of people. So Jordy says, why aren't you following Susan now that Jeff is? Maybe you can DM her. I mean, I sent her a DM and I also sent her an email that's on her link tree. I mean, if you notice, I don't follow a ton of people. So it's not that I don't want to follow. I don't follow everybody that Jeff does. Like I have nothing. Who I follow doesn't have anything to do with who Jeff follows. I follow who I want to see their content. And I'll be honest, I cannot follow a lot of people because the people I follow are constantly like Bravo and Cocktails alone must post 70. I'm not even exaggerating. They must post 70 Instagram stories a day, every day. So it's constantly a job reminding me with those little lit up circles that I need to look at content. So it's really hard to whatever. Susan Powter is SUSANPOWTER. That is her Instagram. So that's how, and then you hit the follow button. And she's got a lot of current stuff up there because she posted this morning that she was going to be on Jeff Lewis Live. She posted something about a resort. She was looking at some fruit trees, but she was worried about all the pesticides that were on. So what? I don't understand what that means. Christina says, what happened when Anya put cakes up? I have no idea what that means. Cakes. Anyways. Okay. When Aya picked up her car. Naya? Wait, what? Annie? I have no. Okay, Christina, sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Yes, TMZ posts a lot. So I follow TMZ. I think I just unfollowed page 6 because it was just the same stuff as TMZ. And I'm like, never mind, I'll just follow her. It seems like, thank you, LTD. It's like Annie. Um, I did not watch Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. I kind of know the gist of it, but is that show still on? I have no idea. What happened when Annie picked up her car? They took back the rental car with no questions, and they charged her more money. So now her boyfriend is calling to get that taken care of, apparently. Oh, yeah, but they don't live in the same city. Sarah says, do you think Susan Powter and Beverly D'Angelo would get along well? Just wondering. Yeah, both just might have to take. They might just have a straw. Have you ever heard where like people like grab a pen and they're like, okay, now is my turn to talk, and then the other person would grab the pen and be like, now it's my turn to talk. You know, they both talk a lot, so they might have to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't follow him. Mary McFadden says no one posts more than Up and Adam. That guy drives me crazy. Well, I mean, he's working. Oh fuck. Oh, sorry. I just crammed my hand right there into the desk edge. Anyways, okay. Yeah, Beverly and Susan definitely sound alike. Susan's way more energetic. I mean, yeah. And are they about the same age? How old is Beverly D'Angelo? I think she said, is she like 72? And Susan is 67. So, yeah. Yeah, that hurt. I mean, just, oh well. Anyways, okay. Yes, Sarah says we need a talking stick. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Luna will kiss it. No, she won't. She's not very good at that. Maybe if I put peanut butter on my knuckle, then she'll kiss it. But yeah. Anyways, it is hot in this room. I closed the closet door. Yeah, Beverly doesn't stop. I don't know that Beverly pays attention to much, though. I think she's a lot of times just kind of in the clouds. You know what I mean? Anyways, well, we have about 7 more minutes. If anyone wants to come on, ask a question or a comment, or in the comments, you have to be on YouTube for that. Also, if you were watching as a replay, the YouTube comments do stay up live as you're watching. So if you hit the button that says live chat, you get to read all the comments that come up. So, oh yeah, he does 10-minute segments. It's 70 degrees in Eastern Tennessee. Is that what you mean, Ann? Wow. It's not, maybe it got up to set. It was pretty warm by the end of our 1.5 hour walk. It definitely got pretty warm. Maybe it's an hour 20, but anyways, it was good. Yeah, well, I want to buy the book because it sounds really good. Like, I want to know how she lost her money. I want to know about her dog. I definitely want to read that. Oh, Jordy says on the invoice that I posted, who was the talent fee for? Well, Kristen Tateman was my talent at that show. So there you go. And was it more than I was told it would be? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So much debacle with that live event. And it wasn't Kristen Tateman. It was the event planner. Oh, I don't know if we want to talk Medicare. Mama Judy. Maybe not. Hit the like button. Who was it that asked if y'all's thumbs are broken before? Gosh. Well, the problem is I think you have to hit the thumbs up before you get into the comments. If not, I think you have to X out, hit the thumbs up, and then go back into comments, I think. So I think like right now, if you're watching, I'm told there's not a thumbs up. But if it is, it's right underneath that says Sarah from Texas, I believe. What merchandise update do you want? It is here. It is for sale. It is in all of my link trees. I showed some of it yesterday. I've got my tote over here. Hold on, I'll go get some of it. Here's just some of it that I ordered. Here is the tote in this color. So it says Sarah from Texas. It's a zipper tote. And it's got 2 pockets on the side for water bottles or whatever. And then it says Chumpette in that pretty color. And it's all like ingrained in there. So it's not going to come off. So that makes sense. It's not going to scratch off. And the Anyways t-shirt. I think these are available in a bunch of different colors. So I love that one. And then the Chumpette sweatshirt that says Sarah from Texas on the back. So that's a little bit of the merch. Yes, there's almost 200 people on here and only 80 people have hit the thumbs up. Can y'all please hit the thumbs up? It does help. I don't know what it does, but it's just a free way to support me. You know, hitting the thumbs up, tapping the screen. Like there's only 48 likes on the TikTok over there. And I don't know how to figure out likes on Instagram, but anyways. Wear your merch. Well, I mean, yeah. I wore it. I wore something on the subscriber asked me anything Sunday night. I think I wore something. Yeah, it's not embroidered. I don't know how to explain. It's flat though. It's with the whatever, you know what I mean? Thank you for the fonts. I mean, trust me. I was so stressing over which fonts to do. Oh, thank you, Tiva Tambo. She says, I want a bag and an Anyways shirt. There's I know what I wore the other day. There's some lounge pants that are for, you know, any gender, any whatever, all different colors that you want that says Chumpette down the leg of it. And then there's a t-shirt and you can buy different sizes. So I love that. So you can buy the pants separately or the shirt, or you can buy it together and save $5. And it says get comfy and comments on the t-shirt. So I slept in that the other night. I don't know. Sarah says, does it help if we use hashtags if we watch on the replay? I have no idea. I would have to look into that. I don't know. Remember, I used to have a media person, so I don't know. I never learned any of that from that person, so I don't know. Are you paying someone to produce your merch, or how are you managing all that? Yes, the same person that does the Jeff Lewis Live merch is the one who does mine. And I've known her for a couple of years through just being a fan and all that. So Stacy does my merch, and so it all ships out from her house. She does this for a lot of schools and companies. She creates merch for a lot of people. That's her job. So anyways, yeah, I know the UK prices. Swipe it down. I'm going to thumbs up. Oh, when you're on the live chat, swipe it down and it will bring you back to thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Loves it. Tiva Tambo, how did your husband like the merchandise? Loves it. He loves everything I do. Thank you very much. He also loves the I Love My Wife pants that finally came in the mail that I had custom made for him with a picture of me on it for Valentine's. Anyways, it was something that kept coming up in my Instagram. And I'm like, oh my God, he will get the biggest kick out of this. And so I did. They came in yesterday. They say, I love my wife. And it's got a picture of Sarah on them. And he wore them all night long. He sure did. Oh, I love that. Is it Friday night that you get to go? Lisa Lewis is the one that told me about Matt Matthews, and she's going to him soon. But my friends and I and husband are going to him in April in Houston, and I never knew of that comedian before her. Lisa says my son's going to buy a bougie on a budget Matt Matthews hoodie Friday night. I don't tend to buy merch at things. Like I didn't buy anything at what's her name, Entitled Housewife. I didn't buy anything at the Madonna concert. I'm not a huge. I buy merch from like the Bravo celebrities that I like. You know what I mean? Cecily. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, these Valentine's pants are, excuse me, they're very funny. No, Jordy, no, this is my gig. Will your husband ever make a cameo on one of your lives so we can meet him? No. Nope. I do not involve my husband in children. Very, very minimally. Anyways. Thank you, K Kitty. He is awesome. Almost 25 years of marriage. So he is my just biggest fan ever. Trust me. Okay. Well, it is 4:00 and nobody came on live with me. I really hope y'all start pushing that button and coming up live to ask a question or a comment. It is so much more fun. But tonight I will watch. Well, I don't know if I'll watch Beverly Hills tonight. Probably, and we'll chat Beverly Hills tomorrow. So, You want a Def Leppard t-shirt? Could probably get one on Amazon. Anyways, okay, thank you so much for joining live. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're following me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast, or make sure you give me a 5-star rating and review everywhere you get your podcast at Sarah from Texas. I would really appreciate it. I will see y'all tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern. Bye, Chumpettes.